But oh my God, can we please come up with something that makes a lick of sense on fourth down and short yardage situations? Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and this is stupid. The Bengals became the first team in NFL history to lose their first 3 of 5 games in a season with a last-second field goal. Now, was it all bad? We'll get into that in a minute, but real quick, I just ask that you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. It really helps my channel grow, and it helps you to keep up with my videos. So, the Bengals lost another game on a last-second field goal because the offense is inconsistent as hell, and the defense, crucially, can't seem to stop a nosebleed when the game is on the line. And that's a huge problem that I don't feel like we talk about enough. I know I'm calling out the defense as great as they are, but if you watch my live stream of the game, you'll know how frustrated I am with just watching this defense letting opposing teams march their way down for the first 80 yards of the field constantly. They're doing a great job of stopping them from getting touchdowns, and that's a big part of the reason why we're in these games, and you got to give the defense credit for that. But at the same time, the inability to stop them when it like from getting anything when it matters, that's an issue and it needs to be addressed. It's also true, to be fair, that the defense has only allowed more than 20 points in a game once this season, which was 23 in Week 1 against the Steelers, and that was with an overtime period. They're averaging 17.6 points per game, which ranks 8th in the NFL. That's excellent, and they absolutely deserve recognition for being an overall great unit. Like I said, a lot of the reason that we're in these games is because the defense is playing like that. But, importantly, they only seem like they're really capable of winning games when the offense is absolutely on point. The fact of the matter is, no offense is always on point every single game. To be clear, obviously the offense does need to be way better and way more consistent. Don't get it twisted. You know, we know all about the struggles of the offense, and we're going to talk about that until the cows come home. But I'm kind of tired of giving the defense a pass when they seem like they keep failing at the end of games. Anyway, man, this game against the Ravens is a great example of the many issues that the Cincinnati Bengals have as a football team right now. The defense is great at stopping opposing teams from driving all the way down the field and scoring touchdowns, but they're generally not amazing at stopping teams from driving the ball for the first 80 yards. The offense got out to an extremely slow start yet again, waiting until midway through the second quarter to actually find a way to put points on the board. The defense did an amazing job of keeping the Ravens' offense in check early in the game, though, so the Bengals were only down 10-0 at their worst. And before we dive further into how bad this offense was at times, I think we do have to be fair and mention what they're doing well. First of all, Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine averaged well over 5 yards per carry on the ground this week. That's new. You'll take that all day long. Also, the offensive line does very much look like they're improving week to week. Burrow only took 2 sacks and had all the time he needed to throw on most plays. La'el Collins did get highlighted a couple times in kind of a negative way with that boneheaded missed assignment on the 4th down touchdown attempt late in the 4th quarter that he got chewed out by Zach Taylor over, and he was getting beat like a drum all day on batted passes. But there's a lot of improvement there overall, and I think in general the offensive line is actually fairly an encouraging point in this game. Makes you feel like they can get this whole thing together sooner rather than later. Alright, so I got that out of the way. Nobody can say I wasn't fair, but boy do I have some shit to say. First of all, I think the play calling is overall fine. Zach Taylor is not the most amazing play caller of all time. That's definitely a fact. But I think people are too often bringing up his play calling issues because they don't actually know how to diagnose the real issues that are going on with an offense when his play calling has a tendency, not always, but has a tendency to be both smart and creative. But, oh my God, can we please come up with something that makes a lick of sense on 4th down and short yardage situations. I mean, seriously, thank God we didn't try another dumbass pitch play on 4th and short. I thought I was going to tear my hair out if I saw another one of those. But a pitch to Stanley Morgan up the middle and trusting La'el Collins with a complicated blocking assignment, are you shitting me? And by the way, what the hell was going on with the running game early on? You netted a whole 0 yards of rushing the first few drives and only 3 in the first 23 minutes of the ball game total. I'm very happy that both running backs ended up rushing the ball quite well, and it looks like the running game might be something that we can add back into the offense as the season goes along. But they weren't even trying through the first third of the game. Like, it's no damn wonder we couldn't move the ball. The Ravens were entirely focused on the pass, and that is why we punted on all of the first 4 drives. It's no damn coincidence, by the way, that as soon as they started running the ball with some actual conviction, they finally scored their first touchdown of the game. God, dude. And what the hell was that interception from Joe Burrow, by the way? Did he not see Patrick Queen being totally obvious about camping on that route and being ready to take that pick? That was triple coverage that you threw into. Opposing teams are terrified of Jamar Chase after last season. You really have to pick and choose your opportunities with him throwing the ball right now because everybody is blanketing him. Luckily, you have Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, Hayden Hurst as options. Normally you have T. Higgins, but he was hurt this week, so we didn't have him, and that might have been part of the reason for the massive offensive struggles. But either way, why are we forcing the ball to Chase? Boyd was targeted 4 times and got 32 yards out of those 4 targets. Chase was targeted 12 times and got 50 yards. Like he got more yards than Tyler Boyd, but he got 12 targets. Like, I'm sorry, but the whole mentality that Joe Burrow has of, fuck it, Jamar Chase is down there somewhere, that doesn't work when the whole damn league is expecting it and game planning for it. Okay, so I got the offensive issues out. Those are my concerns. I also feel like it's important, though, to address the defense at the end of games. Yes, they are amazing most of the time, but why the hell can't we get an actual stop when we need it? Like at the end of games, instead of letting these last-second field goals happen. The Ravens scored 9 points on their final 3 drives because the defense seems to be quite content at, letting the opposing teams march right down the field and then getting really tough when it matters. And it's great that they're not allowing touchdowns. That's awesome. But, a little bit more effort the first 80 yards of the field, man. Like, that second to last drive is particularly egregious because the Ravens started with the ball on their own 2-yard line. And you know what the issue was? It was Mark Andrews. This dude is always killing the Bengals no matter what year it is or how well the Ravens individually are playing. So why are we just letting him do whatever he wants? Why are we still not game planning for him? In that last drive, it seems like literally every play was going for a minimum of 4 yards. I'm not even going to talk about the penalties because honestly, they were bad. Zach Carter and Jermaine Pratt kind of need to pay attention, but it didn't really actually change much of what happened. I'm just concerned about the defense because it seems like they're not built to win football games unless the offense is absolutely killing it. Yes, the offense does need to be great, and I'm not saying that the defense is responsible for losing this game. But even when the offense gets their shit together, there will be games where things don't go well. Like, look at the playoffs, man. Look at that Titans game. We wouldn't have won that game if the defense hadn't been really clutch at the end of the game. Every team has games like that, and you have to be able to put close ball games away instead of letting teams get walk-off field goals every damn time. But that's all I've got for this week, guys. What do you think about the Bengals after the first 5 weeks? Personally, I'm not panicking despite all of my rants because the results look almost identical to what they looked like through the first 5 weeks last year. The only real difference is that we lucked out at the end of that Vikings game in week 1. But honestly, we were on pace to lose that game with the last-second field goal before Dalvin Cook fumbled, And then, week 5, we lost due to a last-second field goal and hella offensive struggles to the Green Bay Packers. But Either way, maybe you have a different perspective. Let me know how you feel in the comments below, and I'll feature the best ones in my next video. Like all of the awesome interaction that I got from everybody in my live stream that I did for this game, you can actually check that out at the end of the video. It'll be linked in the boxes that popped up. But in particular, I want to shout out a couple people. First of all, Matthew Thompson, who tells me that he was my first subscriber, like, you know, last year or whatever, and he was super active in the chat last night. People like you, Matthew, make the losses that much easier for me to take, and I know these losses suck, but I mean, for me, I'm just super glad that you've stuck with me the whole time. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber. You're awesome. Also, I want to shout out Majestic YT, another really loyal subscriber who's been, you know, subscribed and commenting on my stuff for a very long time, and I don't want to announce anything just yet, but keep an eye out for something interesting involving him hopefully soon. Anybody who's watching the stream might have kind of an idea of what I'm talking about, but like I said, I don't want to announce anything until we hammer out all the details. But like I said, everybody, thank you so much for watching this show. I still can't believe that there's 76 human beings out there who want to hear my thoughts on football, and hopefully more in the future. Hopefully, we can get to 100 before too long. And like I said, hopefully more beyond that eventually. But until then, y'all can always find me at KylePhelps92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/ThePhelps, ATBNetwork.com, the Battle of Ohio podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and right here if you subscribe. But that's it, guys. I'll leave y'all, even when we lose, as always, with a hootie!